Hi everyone, I'm Michael.
And I'm Patrick, and you're watching an episode of Star Wars News and Views. Today we have a lot of rumors circulating about the second Anthology film coming out. The first one is by TheWrap.com. They're reporting that the second Anthology film will be a Boba Fett origin story. Now, we've heard this rumor multiple times about the first one, and this seems to be like a recurring thing that's coming up. And I'm not... The Wrap's kind of...
they're okay, yeah. I mean, they're a real reporting website, so...
Yeah. So we'll see. I'm not sure how credible it is, though, just because like there's just other rumors that are coming up, and maybe just another one.
Well, whenever the second Anthology film is in the news, it's like, oh, Boba Fett, oh, maybe Han Solo, like the same couple of rumors keep floating around.
The code name is Tin Can, which we've reported on before, very briefly, and it doesn't really tell you much about it because like it could be about an R2-D2 spinoff, it could be about the Millennium Falcon being a tin can, it could be about how there's always tin cans everywhere.
It could not even be related to the movie.
Yeah.
Return of the Jedi was codenamed Blue Harvest, horror beyond imagination.
On another note, StarWars.com had an official press release that Josh Trank is now not going to be directing the second Anthology film. And in this release on StarWars.com, he was quoted as saying like, "Oh, I've got my own like creational differences, and I want to go on and do my own thing. I want to do something like independent kind of deal." And he kind of
it was a great experience to work with it. Yeah, and he was saying like, "Oh, it was great working with Simon Kinberg, the producer and writer, and moving on."
Reporting on that too. He didn't go to Star Wars Celebration,
which he was planned to. He was supposed to be there,
and the reason was like a flu that had come up and everything. But
he's quoted as saying like, "I had the worst flu of my life. I'm really sorry I couldn't make it."
Yeah. So I don't know now about why he didn't actually show up to Star Wars Celebration. Maybe there's a bit more going on behind that.
Well, given the fact that he left the film the next week.
Yeah.
So this is where it gets interesting. This is the real truth behind this. Supposedly.
Yeah.
The Hollywood Reporter. There's two major news sources in the movie world. One is Variety. The other is Hollywood Reporter. These are two what are called trade magazines, which basically they're made for people within the industry, although people outside the industry read them because everyone loves movies and they want to know the inside scoop about what's going on in Hollywood.
Yeah.
But what the Hollywood Reporter was saying, that they're hearing this from all sorts of sources, is that he didn't quit, he was fired. They canned him.
They tin canned
him. The reason this is because of the Fantastic Four movie that is coming out very soon. Well, in a couple months.
Which he directed.
He directed it. It's his directorial debut, I believe. And Simon Kinberg was the producer of that film as well. And during the production of that film, all kinds of weird things were happening where he was very unreliable. There's this one report of how he rented a house for his two dogs and they ended up causing $100,000 in property damage, and he was very remote during the production, and when actors or whatever would go to him with questions, he wouldn't give an answer, and the footage that they were seeing was not what they hoped for. Fantastic Four has a bad history of making crappy movies.
Yeah.
And they were last month in April. They were doing reshoots as recent as April. They were not planned. They were just looking at the first cut and be like, "Oh man, we have to refilm a bunch of this."
Yeah.
Not a good sign, right?
Yeah.
And so basically, Simon Kinberg was saying that I don't want to work with this guy again. I'm not going to put the next Star Wars spinoff in his hands. I want him out. And so basically, they fired him.
Yeah. And that being said, we have another report from Variety.com that sort of backed that up and said a similar thing, and also
they basically confirmed these.
Yeah.
They're like, "Yeah, we're hearing that too."
Yeah, that he got canned, and the other report that they're putting out now is because of this. The second Anthology film will be delayed until 2019, which that has quite a bit of credence to it because at this point, if they don't even have a director now, they're gonna have to kind of start all over again, find somebody, kind of get everything,
That could change because, if they find a director next month, maybe they could get back on track. But as of now, according to Variety, which if they say something's true, it's probably true.
But if we keep it in line with this one every year thing, and they are being released sort of in December, if it gets delayed till 2016, that might not, 2019, that might not mean a full year. That could just be like a few months delay and get released in May or something like that, as opposed to like December of 2017.
Yeah, maybe they'll fast track it to May.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it might just be a few month delay, but it's definitely, at least at this point, according to Variety, within the next year, 2019.
Yeah, well, that's the thing, because the film's supposed to come out in December. So if it's like, delayed until 2019, it's like, well, what if it comes out in February?
Yeah, it's only a few months, right?
90 days later.
Yeah.
Or it could not be affected if they find someone right away.
Yeah.
Yeah. So leave us your thoughts about this. This is kind of a pretty big deal that, like, there's never been a director fired from a Star Wars film. Like, that's kind of a major development. Bad news for Fantastic Four, actually, because, like, when I heard about that movie, like, Dr. Doom's a blogger, I was like, oh, this is so stupid.
Yeah.
But the trailer kind of won me over a little bit, because it's like, they were trying to make it more of like a science fiction movie and not necessarily like a superhero movie.
Yeah.
But now apparently, like, they fired him on Star Wars based on the performance of Fantastic Four.
That's true. I mean, we'll see. I guess the same thing sort of happened with Ed Norton too on the Incredible Hulk movie. He was apparently not the best to work with, so that's why they didn't bring him back for Avengers. And,
well, he was a pain to work with because he wanted to be the guy in charge.
Yeah.
And the thing is, you have to kind of play in Marvel's sandbox to a degree.
Yeah.
Whereas Josh Trank was just kind of like weird and incompetent. Mm-hmm. So like that's like goodbye.
Yeah.
So leave us your feedback on this. Lots to discuss. See you next episode.